Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Hope everybody's having a great day. Nice warm weather time of the season, right? And just enjoying the summer, right? That's really what's important. So I just thought I'd join you this morning here on the Hive Society, our Monday morning, or I'm sorry, Friday morning Facebook Live here in the Hive Society. So I'm glad that I have the opportunity where I can share some wisdom highlights with you here and to give you some ideas and some tips and things like that. I was out yesterday and I happened to run into a fellow business person. We both happen to be in the same industry, so a business competitor. And we just got talking for a brief minute. We both ended up at the bank at the same time. And and he was saying, "Oh, you're here to make sure payroll gets covered, right?" I'm like, "Always, like payroll's covered." And he's like, "Yeah." And he was just sharing a little bit about his challenges of making his payroll. Now, I've known the person for over 20 years. He's only been a business competitor for about 5 years. And, he not a problem. Anytime I need extra support in something, I'll reach out to them. We'll reach out to them and have a business connection. So I thought I would just share real quick, before we get started on this call today is look, competition is not bad. It's not bad to have, somebody else in your competitive space, in essence, your business space. What you do with it is where it gets crazy. If you make it about a negative thing and you're like, "Oh, they're my competition and I can't like them," like then yeah, you're going to create a rift between each other and everything else. But if you can, work with your competition, be polite to your competition, be respectful and everything else, like you can have good good rapport with people around you. So it's just a little quick, nugget, that happened yesterday is, I'm not, the way that I say it is I'm in competition with myself. It's our job to go out and provide the best possible service, provide the best possible, client needs as we can. And, if we're not, then my competition has every right to take my jobs from me. Right? That's the bottom line, is making sure that we're taking care of our clients and our customers. So anyway, that's just a quick little thing that happened yesterday. I thought I would just share before I get started talking today about partnering up for success and why that's important. And I'm not saying partnering up with your competition. I just want to be clear is that, really it's just partnering up. Now, this doesn't work for everybody, and I'm gonna tell you right now is partnering up. You have to be committed. Imagine yourself going through life without anybody cheering you on, right? Anybody telling you that you can accomplish something, right? It can be a lonely world out in the business world as an entrepreneur. So just know that partnering up is a way that you can get some support for you to do the things in your business that's necessary. Now, my recommendation on this is you partner up with another business person, and it doesn't even have to be in your industry. Actually, it's probably better not to be in your industry, right? Partner up with somebody that, wants to be a cheerleader for you, wants to hold you accountable to what you say that you want to do. Look, I've had clients throughout the years that hire me specifically to be an accountability partner. Okay. They hire me to make sure that they're moving forward in what it is. I can do it because I'm not attached to the friendship per se. I'm more attached to them winning, because in the long run, that's much more important, right? We build the friendship from that accountability in many cases. But, being an entrepreneur can be a lonely space, and partnering up for some success can be a great tool to use, right? So think about it. A lot of times people don't want accountability partners. They don't want anybody to hold them accountable to anything. Hey, I'm an entrepreneur. I want to set my own hours. I want to set my own prices. I want to do whatever I want to. We got into it for the freedom, right? Yes, there's freedom in all of that. There's also freedom in you getting lazy. There's also freedom in you, I don't feel like it today, so I'm not going to do it, right? There's freedom in, whatever you decide you want to do. Right. And I have found over the years, and remember, I've been a business consultant and business coach, right, for over 20 years now. Before it became real popular and everybody had coach behind their name, right? There was a lot of distinction in having to have accreditation and having to have, certifications to be a coach. Nowadays, you just put the title up and everybody believes it. So I've been a coach for a really long time. I've also been a, security businesswoman, in a male dominant space for a long time, 30 years, right? So I, I have some experience behind this. Is I have found that I'm much more successful when I have somebody walking alongside me on that journey to success, right? And having an accountability partner has helped me stay on track so many times. And I don't have to have an accountability partner forever, right? I got a special project coming up and I want somebody to make sure, to hold me accountable to what it is that I say that I want, right? So think about it like this, partnering up is about partnering up for accountability, to make sure that you're going to get done what you say you want to do, to make sure that you achieve the goals that you're set out to do. If you're not making money right now, then you better get an accountability partner, whether you hire one or not. Is like, get an accountability partner so that you can get some money moving in. I have people I have people who called me, and they want to hire me, but they just can't afford to hire me. And I'm like, okay, but you know what? If you hired me, you'd make money. I can almost guarantee it. If you work hard to do the things that I'm going to hold you accountable to, you're going to make money. And that's what we're in business for. Okay. Yes, we can make a difference, but in order to be a real legitimate business within the IRS standards, then you have to make money. So partnering up so that you can overcome the obstacles, so that you can, have somebody cheering you on when you're feeling a little like, oh my gosh, this is just feeling like drudgery right now, right? Because it's going to happen. You're going to feel like the drudge every now and then. So, having somebody be there. I mean, think about it. Scuba divers, right? Commercial airline pilots. What do they have that's most in common with business leaders? They have accountability in place. Right? A scuba diver has a partner to check their oxygen tank before they get into the ocean. They always have somebody as their backup, right? Because you want to make sure everything's attached properly, right? And so, think about it that way. And a commercial airline pilot, they have a co-pilot, right? It keeps them on track, right? And if not, they have a tower that's getting them to and from, getting them the support that they need. Business leaders also need someone to hold them accountable, right? If you want to reach those goals that you want, then have an accountability partner, not because you're not capable. I want to be clear. You're capable. Okay. Not because you're not capable, not because, right, that you're not knowledgeable enough, or that you're not powerful enough, or that you're not smart enough, right? That's not why you get an accountability partner. It's not why you get somebody to support you. It's because success is much more rewarding when you know somebody is watching your back. And it's very important, right, for you to have somebody that says you can do it when you're feeling like you can't. Or, hey, Kimberly, why didn't you get that done this week? You said you were going to, but why didn't you? Right? Life is going to offer up so many distractions. So having an accountability partner kind of bring you back in alignment, it always adds that little bit of security and safety from being dragged down by the challenges of life in your business, right? So here's a quick little story. I live close to San Francisco, and here in the California region, we have Dungeness crabs, all right? And, I'd be going out onto Fisherman's Wharf and see all the crabs in the buckets, during crab season, which is like at the beginning of the year, right? We have big crab feeds and everything else with the Dungeness crabs, right? So I talked to one of the gentlemen who's watching over the pot of crabs that's sitting outside that you get to choose from if you want to buy some crabs, right? And when you put a lot of crabs in a pot, whether it be the pot outside on the street for you to buy or a pot to boil, right? The crabs, what happens is they will just sit there and they just, somebody's trying to get out and they're trying to pull up and get above the top, and then what happens is another crab pulls them down, right? And then they're moving forward and they're almost successful, they almost reach the top, and another crab pulls them down, right? And so what happens all the time is, they're reaching up and they're, trying to get out and trying to get away, but another crab pulls them down. So they're all fighting to get out of the pot at the same time, but nobody ever gets out because they're pulling each other down. People in business can behave that way too. As they see other people that are being successful and they start pulling them down and they start saying like, oh, you can't do that. No, I want to get out first. I want to be the first one out, right? And they start pulling each other down. And then in the end, nobody gets out, right? Nobody's successful. So having an accountability partner that can help push you up, bring you out over the edge, whatever that is, reach down and lift you up when you're having a tough time, right? That's what an accountability partner says. So, Oprah Winfrey once said, lots of people want to ride with you in the limo, but what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down. That's what an accountability partner is. Someone that can support you, somebody who wants to lift you up. And as entrepreneurs, it's our responsibility to make sure that we are successful in business, right? It really is. So let's talk about some things that, getting an accountability partner can help you do. Number one is they can keep you on track, right? I'm all about keeping people on track. I'm all about staying on track. They can provide you with some accountability. They can help monitor your success, right? They can offer you creative ideas. When something's not quite right or whatever, they can play the role of the cheerleader, that's needed every now and then. They can also play the role as the drill sergeant as needed, right? Like, come on, you said you were going to do this. Why are you holding back, right? A partner can inspire you. They can, give you experience that they've had when you're hitting in a dry spell, things like that. So just know there's some great benefits to having an accountability partner. But how do you get the right accountability partner? So that's where the challenging pieces come in. It's like, hey, friend, you want to be an accountability partner, right? You go out to networking events and you're like, hey, let's get on the phone and let's just chat and let's, hold each other accountable. Let's work with each other so that we can both be successful. Yeah. How does that work? Okay. For some people, that doesn't work at all. For some people, it can work out. So, when you're looking for somebody, you want to find somebody who's motivated, somebody who has a positive attitude, right? You do not want the negative Nelly on your side. Okay. That's not the person you want. Think about it. Is this person, finding the right accountability partner? Is it the same kind of company as you, right? Or is it a different complementary business that's going after the same target market as you? Different personality styles, right? You can utilize each other's strengths from your differences, right? Do they have similar interests than you, right? They can understand you a little bit better. So there's a whole bunch of things that you can put into place to try to find. The most important thing is to, provide an opportunity for each other to mentor each other in business, right? So just know that like finding the right accountability partner is important, but you have to know what you're looking for. And then it's, making an agreement. Hey, look, if we're going to do this, how are we going to make it happen? And here's some tips that I have when you get an accountability partner, when you're getting set up to create an accountability partner. One is you're going to ask some questions like, how often do you want to connect, right? Once a day, once a week, once a month, what is that for you? And then how long will each connection last? Are we going to do an hour accountability call? Or are we going to do a 30 minutes or 15? Look, you can do a 5-minute accountability call. It does not have to take you long. And if you think I don't have time for accountability, I'm telling you, you better make some time, right? But it can be 5 minutes once a week. Make it simple. All right. But whatever that is for you, where you have a chance. So 5-minute call looks like this. Hey, this is what I said I was going to do this week. Here's what I got done. This is what I still need to do for the coming week. Both of you share, you know exactly what it is, and you move forward. You want to take 15 minutes or a half an hour? Hey, tell me about, what did you do this week? What did you accomplish? What do you still need to accomplish? Like, what's getting in the way? What's preventing you from doing that? So I've been on, I had clients where, on my third call with them, we're talking the same thing from the first one. They still hadn't taken any action on stuff. And I just said to them, I'm like, hey, you're not taking any action on anything. Like, you keep saying you're going to do it. And yes, life has gotten in the way multiple times, but you're wasting your money, because this person actually hired me. I'm like, you're wasting your money with me because you're not willing to take any action. What's stopping you? And then we got in to figure that out. You know what? They got so much accomplished that next week because somebody was willing to say, hey, what's holding you back? That's great for a 15-minute, accountability call. Then you want to ask each other, how long do you want this relationship to last, right? Are we going to do accountability for a month? Or are we going to do 6 months or a year? Look, I don't recommend that you connect and decide you're going to be accountability partners without an end date. Pick an end date, right? And if you know the person and you've already been in relationship with them as accountability partners and you want to do a year with each other, then by all means do it. But I recommend 1 month. We start it out, we give it a try, we see how things are. 3 months, right? And then just, that's it, right? Then we make a decision. That way, if something isn't working, you're not stuck with somebody. You don't have to hurt their feelings. Look, we agreed to this. Now I'm going to move on and do something different, whether that's go get a new accountability partner or not, whatever that is, right? What day and time you're going to connect, right? On that regular basis. How will you connect? Are you going to meet in person? Are you going to do a phone call or a Zoom? Are you going to do an email, a text? What is that, right? And then who's going to call who if you're calling? Is it the same person, or are you going to rotate periodically? I know it seems like it's, simple little things, but, it just really is, important for you to define that, because then it makes it quick and easy. There's no expectation of something different. The expectations are laid out flat out, right? What's your level of confidentiality with each other? Have you decided what you will share and what you won't share? All right. What if an accountability partner does not show up on your call? Right? What does that mean? Do you follow up with them? Does that mean, oh, they just don't care? Like, how dare they? They don't want to be around me, right? That kind of stuff. It's not often the case, but what happens? I've had people who talk to me about their accountability partner shows up like every other week, and and they just make excuses and then cancel your accountability partnership, right? Just, figure that out. So just know that, you got to figure out what that confidentiality is, what's not going to share. If they don't show up, if, are you going to stop that and find somebody who's more, committed to doing that with you? And then what happens, right? To get back in agreement with each other. So set an ending date, set a start date. You're going to do this, set your times, put all that into place, because when you do that, it really creates a professionalism behind having an accountability partner. And you might decide after 3 months that this person isn't working for you. Like, they've helped you, but now you've outgrown them and you need to reach the next level. You have take a riskier level and you get somebody else who can hold you accountable for that next thing. Then by having a timeline of nobody there's just no judgment. Okay. It's just a matter of, hey, this worked, we're moving forward. Remember, this is your business and you have to make the best decisions to stay on path for your success, right? You can have accountability partner with friends, right? And you can stay connected with those friends, but you have to decide who's going to hold you accountable in your business, because it's the right thing to do. It's the right decision for your business, because you need that in business. So set specific and measurable goals, share them with your accountability partner, let them know exactly what you want to be held accountable for and when you want to be held accountable for it, right? And why that's important for you. And then honor your partner by holding them accountable as well. Like, this is an accountability partnership. It is not an accountability, I'm holding you accountable, but you don't get to hold me accountable. Look, I'll even work with my clients, even if they hire me as an accountability partner, I will say, okay, so here's what I'm committing to this week, right? So that I know that it's not a one-way street. Okay. Does your accountability partner understand exactly what you're asking for, what kind of support you're asking for? Make sure that it's clear, right? Make sure that what you're doing and what you're saying is what's necessary for you to move forward. All right. And then the other thing is I was going to say is just, really be committed to your accountability partner. It doesn't always mean that you agree with them. You don't have to take their advice if they choose to share it, right? It just means that you can honor and respect that space. And if it's not working, it's okay to tell them, look, I just want you to know this isn't working out for me after all. Nothing, I don't mean any disrespect for you, but this just isn't working for me and I'm going to have to move on at this time. Okay. Just being real and being honest. It's not about trying to hurt anybody's feelings. So please don't. Just be honest about, hey, is this working for me? If it's not, move on. Look, you're in business for yourself, but you don't have to be in business by yourself. Okay. There's great coaches and mentors, accountability partners who are willing to hold you accountable, but more importantly, support you in your success, right? It's your job to take the risk and to ask for support. So let me just go over a few ways to keep your partnership productive. Okay. So number one is recognize that both of you have a contribution to make. Okay. You're in this accountability partnership because you both have something to contribute to each other, right? And whether that's a higher intellect, they have more skill set, more knowledge, something like that, or just to keep your mental space clear, right? To keep you on track and make sure that you're keeping a clear mind so that you can do the job that you need to do. But whatever it is, recognize that you both have a contribution to make, right? Don't make it one-sided. Be productive by making sure both sides are valuable. Even if you know that you're right on something, you can be willing to listen to somebody's ideas and perspectives without being right all the time. Just let them work through that process, right? Number two on this, on keeping your partnership productive is don't be a critic. Okay. It's easy to be critical of the choices your accountability partner is making. One of my mentors once said that being a critic is the easiest job in the world. A critic can have an opinion without even taking a risk. So don't fall into the trap of being a critic, right? This is your partner. You want to make sure to ask questions, to understand, to clarify their choices, allowing her to see, that there might be a better way to take action. Don't let ego get in the way and become a critic to the people that are there, that are there for you. Is really just, let the ego out of the way as you're building this, business relationship of accountability, and, just listen and try to understand. And even if you know the answer, you can lovingly and respectfully say, hey, are you open to an idea? All right. The number three thing that you can do is respect each other's beliefs. Look, having an accountability partner does not mean you get to change their beliefs. That is not the goal. We all have beliefs, right? And some serve us now or have served us at some point in our life and may not be serving us now, but they're still our beliefs. And, being mad at somebody because they believe something different than you, it might not be serving them at this moment. And that's where you just kind of love them through it. Say, hey, are you open to another idea? But you can respect their beliefs. Look, I can work with anybody in any religion because I'm not attached to who has what religion, right? I can work with anybody for whatever decisions they make, as long as they want to move forward, right? It's all about moving forward. So, if somebody's having a limiting belief, look, I have worked with people on belief systems, okay, in the right context. I, as a facilitator at a personal development program, part of it was belief shifting, right? Is helping people see what beliefs were no longer working for them and how could they move into beliefs that were much more serving. That is not the place of the accountability partnership. That is the place of an organized structure that knows how to do that. And even if I know how to do it, it doesn't mean that I'm going to do that in my accountability space, because that's not the place for it. right? I can share with her, hey, is it possible that this could be holding you back, right? If she doesn't see it, no matter how hard we try to get them to see it, they're not going to change. Don't put that responsibility on your shoulder in this context, right? This is where your partner, you can just be her partner. You can just support her, even though she doesn't see that this belief is a challenge for her right now. Allow her the space to see the impact of her limiting belief. And that's when she'll make progress. Okay. And number 4 is keep it confidential. Look, confidentiality may be broken without realizing it. Make an agreement of confidentiality with each other. Setting up a level of confidentiality that keeps you from becoming, an obstacle in their life. Sharing honest information with your accountability partner and trusting that they're not going to go out and share that with other people or calling other people and telling them about it, right? Like, have some confidentiality in place, right? Let me say, a lot of times we used to say is confidentiality is usually broken without realizing it because you just happen to talking about somebody, about something, and then somebody else puts the pieces together. Okay. But, have a level of confidentiality and, give credit where credit is due. Like if I'm working with somebody and, they're sharing something that I think, would be great to share with somebody else, I'll get their permission. I'm like, hey, can I put it out there? I won't use your name. Is that okay? All right. So just know, set up the confidentiality boundary right away so that you can build trust with each other and work hard not to get broken. Keep your confidentiality with each other because that really is important in the long run to create the business trust that you need with each other. And look, whether you like accountability or motivation or, you want celebrating in your business or, whatever that is, right? You have to make sure that what you're doing is, paying attention so that you can be the most powerful tool for somebody else in their business, just as they can be the most powerful tool for you in your business. Building business doesn't have to be hard. Okay. It is hard work. But finding easier tools to help you create success can be, very rewarding. And so, finding an accountability partner can be very helpful for you to grow in your business. And look, some people have the school of thought that accountability partners don't work. And it's true. They don't. They do not work if you're not willing to put the right things in place to make it work. If it's just willy-nilly and I'm just throwing it together and I'm not being organized with it, then most likely it's not going to work. But if you can create a partnership with somebody and, keep it confidential, respect each other's beliefs, right? If you can not be a critic, if you can recognize that both of you are making a contribution to each other, right? If you are, if you're setting up those parameters of how often you're going to connect, once a day, once a week, once a month, whatever that is, right? How long you're going to connect, whether it be an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, how long you want to make the relationship last, right? Who's going to call each other, all of those things. If you can put all of those things into place and create a great partnership for yourself and your business, then absolutely you can create a wonderful accountability piece where you can partner up to create greater success, right? And so, think about it. So here's my challenge for you today is, think about maybe 3 possible accountability partners, right? And here's a little tip. That accountability partner that doesn't show up, they get, life happens and they can't make the calls and everything else. Here's a powerful tool. Have 2 accountability partners. Whether you're all 3 getting on the same meeting, the same call, the same, system, or you just have 2 different ones. And that way, if one isn't working out, then you have another one to fall back on. I've done a triad of accountability partners multiple times, and it has been very helpful and very rewarding when I have the right people. I've had it where, one is a flake, God bless them, and you just move on. Then you're down to 2, and then you can invite another 3rd one in, because what that does is it just gives you a little bit more edge to that accountability partnership, and you always know you have one. So there's a little caveat. I would say start practicing with one and then add in the second one. That would be my suggestion, because the more proficient you get at it, then the better you'll be with that third person. So, think of accountability partners. Who could be accountability partner for you? Right? Who's going to stretch you? Who's not going to let you get away with your stuff like your best girlfriend? Right? And maybe reach out to them and say, hey, would you be interested in doing 6 weeks of accountability? We get together once a week, 15-minute call. Would you be willing to do that? And what we're going to do is you're going to share your goals for the week. What do you want to accomplish? What's the biggest challenge for you? What do you need a solution for? And then I'm going to share my goals for the week, what I want to accomplish, what I'm looking for solutions for, power partner that I need to find, whatever that is. And then when we get together next week, we're going to see how that turned out. And we're going to look to see if, what kind of support each other needs. When somebody is celebrating something that they accomplish, whether it's something little, have them celebrate. And even if they don't celebrate, have them celebrate too. Because I know I have some controlling women out there who like, oh no, I don't need to celebrate. I just got to move on to the next task. Celebrate. Okay. It's very important in your business to celebrate the small milestones. So if you accomplished anything in the week, tell your accountability partner, great job. I'm excited for you. I'm celebrating you today. This is what you needed to get done, right? It's time to build powerful relationships in business, right? So build a powerful relationship with an accountability partner so that you both are watching out for each other's goals, your accomplishments, your dreams, help you to reach new heights in your business. And if you need some support, feel free to reach out to me. All right. Well, I hope that was helpful today. I hope, please, put a comment down below. Let me know, what's one thing that you heard today that you go, you know what? I can at least do that this week. Or you know what? I can at least add that to my business this week. All right. Well, I'll see you again next Friday. And I look forward to talking with you and connecting and sharing with you and sharing all my wisdom highlights from all my gray hairs that I've earned. All right. Have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you soon.